Hi friend, welcome back to another QuickTake review. Today we are talking about Niche Beauty Lab's Theramid Copper Peptide Anti-Aging Serum. So first off, Niche Beauty Lab is a company that sort of came out of nowhere as far as I can tell. They're certainly getting a lot of social media attention right now. That's how I ran into them, and I'm so thankful for it because it's a great brand. As far as the products I've tried, I have loved it. I love their kind of ethos. They feel very similar to kind of a grown-up Ordinary brand as far as their focused on good quality ingredients and simple formulas, but they have also kind of expanded the formulas as opposed to just kind of one superhero ingredient, but they are doing good blends of ingredients for their serums and moisturizers and actives. It just seems to be a really good evolution of the idea that there are wonderful ingredients out there and they don't have to be super expensive and, only for the super elite and affluent. They are accessible to more mainstream consumers. So that's awesome. And that's also what they talk about on their website as far as their ethos as being democratizing the skincare industry, but just like I said, bringing some really good quality formulas to the masses and not complicating it. They're not super expensive. I mean, they're certainly pricey for some brackets, but they are good quality ingredients and they are transparent about what's in them, and they don't add a lot of filler stuff. They generally don't add fragrances. They just want to do good skincare that is accessible to the masses. So that's cool. They are made in Spain, which is also very cool. If you want to know more, I will link their website down below as far as the information about the company, but let's get on with the review for today. First off, they tout that this copper peptide serum has 3% copper peptides for the total concentration for this serum, which is supposedly the highest available on the market. Now, there is some question about getting really, really high concentrations of copper peptides that topically applied, they can actually cause more free radicals than they do beneficial outcomes. But my initial research looks like this is within an acceptable range, and you are just going to be getting a very potent, helpful serum for youthful aging, graceful aging, to help your skin perform at its best. So that's awesome. It's worth noting that they have the same copper peptide as is found in Decium's Niod copper peptide serum, which gets rave reviews. So just something you might look into. I'm not saying that they're equivalent, but they do have the same superstar ingredient. So look into it and see which one would be most suitable for you. As far as this product goes, it is a lotiony texture. It blends in really easily into the skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel greasy. It is just soaks right in. They have done a really good job of blending in some emollients with some good delivery ingredients like dimethicone and cyclopexane. It feels wonderful on the skin, and I have loved using it. It is acceptable to use this day and night. Just know peptides in general are kind of delicate, so they do not play super well with strong acids like L-ascorbic acid or alpha hydroxy acids like glycolic, lactic, things like that. So just be wary of extreme pH differences when you're using peptides. You might want to separate them day versus night and just use, your hydroxy acids or your strong acids during the day and use this at night, or just switch off days. So remember that you don't have to use all of your active ingredients every single day, twice a day to get improvement. You can usually space them out every couple of days or every other day, or switch off day versus night. So you will still get some good effects from this, even if you're just using it once a day or every other day. But definitely don't mix it with those strong acids, because it can not only limit how effective it is, but sometimes it can go the other direction and actually cause some free radical generation, which we don't want. They use a phenoxyethanol stabilization preservative system, which is sort of the second best option out there because of the paraben backlash that so many people are worried about them and where they're coming from and things like that. phenoxyethanol is probably the next best option, and it does a good job of keeping it nice and germy free in the bottle and keeping it nice and stable throughout the life of the product. It also has some good emollients like glycerin and propanediol and betadine. It also has a little bit of sodium hyaluronate, so hyaluronic acid in its salt form. That's awesome to see. Just those nice little bits to help make it a well-rounded formula. And beyond the copper peptides, it also has a number of other peptides built into it just to kind of help work towards the same goal. And that is really what I appreciate about this brand is they aren't just trying to throw one ingredient that's going to try to do everything. They throw in one great ingredient and then fill the rest of the formula in with other wonderful ingredients that help towards the same goal of youthful skin, healthy skin, good with wound repair, helps with fine lines, wrinkles, helps with firmness. So it's a great approach. I'm going to sneak my notes in because there are a few different long names. One of the peptides that they have is acetyl tetrapeptide 2, which focuses primarily on skin regeneration, as well as increasing skin's immune defense, which is great. The other is trifluoroacetyl tetrapeptide 2, and it is focused on actually inhibiting a nasty little protein that is pro-aging. So it blocks that guy from prematurely aging our skin. So that's awesome. It's like a little defense line, as well as 5 growth factors. I won't get too far into the growth factor peptides because they can get pretty complicated, but the long story short version is these 5 growth factors will help with firming skin, increasing collagen production, protecting collagen that's already there, increasing elastin production, just helping that copper peptide. And speaking of copper peptides, it is bis tripeptide 1 copper acetate that is included in this formula, but it is what is naturally found in blood plasma, and it stimulates collagen, elastin, and glycosaminoglycine. So all that leads to healthy looking skin, healthy, youthful, firm looking skin. We are just sort of finding out how important copper is to our skin's health and wound repair, especially. Something like this will definitely make an improvement as far as wound healing goes, as well as all of those other factors of helping build elastin, so that nice bounce to the skin, helping build collagen so that it's strong. It's just gonna contribute to overall healthy skin. My own experience has been right in line with what they market and what I would expect. It is smoother, looks glowier, healthier, and I've actually seen a really fast bounce back from some of the more in-office procedures that I've had recently, as far as like microneedling and some energy-based devices that usually have some downtime with them. I have seen my skin turn around much faster while I've been using this, so that's very nice, and it makes sense because it helps with wound healing primarily, and what is microneedling and energy-based device, but triggering a controlled wound. So I feel like bounced back really fast from those, but also I just feel like I got better results from those as well. Now I know it wasn't the most scientific test to do this for a couple months and, pepper in some in-office procedures, but I feel like I've come out of this much better than I ever have before, and I attribute that primarily to this copper peptide serum. Also, just my skin looked healthier. Even before I did those, my skin was already just looking healthier. The fine lines were a little bit softer. I've gone a long time since I had Botox, way overdue, and yet I feel comfortable with it because everything looks super smooth. I do have some lines up here that I usually Botox away, but they are so much smoother than I've ever seen them, especially without Botox. So yeah, that all says my skin is acting very healthy and it looks nice and youthful. So I'm very happy with it. And I will definitely continue using this. I just reordered. Quick touch on price. It is $50, so not the most inexpensive thing in the world, but it is a powerhouse. So using it sparingly will get you a long way. So yeah, I think it's worth the cost, certainly, if that's within your budget. But it is $50 US for 1.01 fluid ounces or 30 milliliters. And let's talk about packaging. At first, I was intrigued by the packaging. It looks very pretty, especially on their website. It's vibrant colors, simple, clean packaging as far as the look goes in these glass bottles with pump tops. Now, I just assumed that this was something that had just a simple straw in there and it was going to pump out from the glass bottle. But I was pleasantly surprised and found that this is actually what's inside this beautiful glass bottle. So very easy to recycle. You just twist this off. This is going to get recycled for years and years and years. And then you can break apart these components and recycle them separately after you've rinsed them out. So it does make that eco side of things a little bit easier. So I like that first and foremost. And this is an opaque bottle, so it does protect the ingredients from light. Any light sensitive ingredients would love that. But I love this. It is a little kind of vinyl bag over a multi-hold straw, so you can pump out basically every last drop of it and also keep as little air in there as possible. It is a beautiful blue color that comes from the copper tripeptide. And again, it is such a nice silky feel. It soaks in right away and then just leaves the skin nice and hydrated, not greasy, not heavy, nothing like that. Thank you for bearing with me as I'm getting back into the groove of these reviews. I really appreciate your patience and sticking around because I love doing this and I have so missed doing this. And yeah, so I know these first couple of videos are a little bit rough around the edges. I'm not using my usual setup. I'm not really put together yet, but I just wanted to get back on here and yeah, get some reviews out. So thanks for bearing with me. I will certainly be reviewing the rest of the line that I've tried because there's some great stuff in there. Like their retinoids are really awesome. They have some unique products that are kind of, there isn't a real good comparison out there on the market right now. So we'll do that and some good gentle exfoliants. But overall, I think this brand is very promising. So definitely look into it. Let me know in the comments if you tried this or what you'd like me to be reviewing in the future or kind of what your focus is these days. Like I said, I'm trying to get back into the groove. So let me know what the coolest things out there are, what the latest things are that people want information on, and I will start doing some research. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you again next time, friend.